So the economy's bad pretty much everywhere. Even in heaven, God's outsourcing prayer now. Hello, this is God. Yes, hello, God, please. I'm going to bed. You sure this is God? Yes, this is God. Go ahead. Yes, God, I bet. Do you look cold? Cold? Oh no, it's 103 in New Delhi today. So driving was tough to get I lived here very shortly, and I skated on the ice and hit a tree. A friend of mine gave me some advice. He said, Michael, what you do is, when you find yourself going into a skid, what you do is you turn your car. I didn't know this, in the direction of the skid. Now that makes no sense. That's like saying, Michael, if someone's got to punch you, what you do is you lean into it, okay? That's what you do. Michigan, ignore your instincts. Should be on the state quarter. So, what else? I'm single, just broke up with my girlfriend. She was a little too sexually advanced for me. Tried anal beads the other night. Didn't care for them. Tasted like shit. Not good. So, crappy. Just not good. So she was long, beautiful hair. Unfortunately, it was everywhere. She looked like she had buckwheat in a leg lock. You know, it was just like a reverse Brazilian. We used to call her Sasquatch, not because she was hairy, but because she'd never been photographed clearly. So I just want to get that out of the way. Divorce, no kids, hate kids. Hate them with a passion. In fact, I registered myself as a sex offender just so I could keep 1,000 yards. A little buffer from the little shits. I wish I lived in Montana. Two things you can do with Montana. You can drive fast and you can shoot a kid with a crossbow. So that's, I know, it's not really funny, but it's a fact. Traditional guy, monogamy, but I basically practice mahogany. That's where I exclusively have sex with fine furniture. None of this IKEA crap. I don't want to have sex with something I have to assemble. That's just too much. My parents, what can I tell you? They were sock darners. You know, they actually darned socks for a living. They fucking hated it. My mom sometimes would damn socks, and my dad would get really upset. You know, sometimes you don't have socks, and they never were the same after that. You know, they were just not as soft. We moved around a lot as kids, constantly moving. My parents, it wasn't job transfer. We all had epilepsy, so it was a very shaky childhood.
So I am from Detroit, and growing up in Detroit is great to prepare you for post-apocalyptic life. When Detroit city government says they're developing the city, what it means is we're building a Thunderdome to hold bum fights. Exactly. You guys are a sexy crowd. I mean, not so much you or you, but you guys over here in this general area look pretty good. So, one of the things about the Detroit area, the Michigan thing we can all share is the weather. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad the weather's finally getting better, because before that, you had those days where it was sunny but cold, right? So it's like Michigan weather's equivalent of a fat girl with a nice personality and a good smile. Not exactly what you're looking for, but fuck it, you'll take it anyway. You know what I mean? It'll do in a pinch. But the weather out here in the wintertime makes me desperately want to take a vacation. And you know, because you start talking about vacation, you gotta get on a plane, which is about the most inconvenient goddamn thing that you can do known to man right now, thanks to the war on terror. I can never sneak weed onto a plane ever again, thanks to the terrorists. Thanks a lot, Bin Laden, you bastard. But you know what you don't see a lot of is Middle Eastern airline pilots. I mean, there was a couple about 11 years ago, but they were pretty shitty at their job. But, no, too soon? Really? Come on. So, but I think terrorism is a horrible PR campaign, and I have some suggestions. For instance, if New York is still on the market, like if it's still a targetable area, can we please do Yankee Stadium next time? I mean, New Yorkers are going to be pissed, but the rest of the country hates that fucking team. And let's be honest, if terrorists started targeting Walmart, would we really be that pissed off? I don't think so. But I have a lot of friends that are Lebanese, a lot of them have mixed parentage, so some of them, you know, I always wonder if you have one parent that's Catholic and the other is Muslim, when you go to heaven, does that mean you get 72 virgin boys?
Nice.
If you guys didn't laugh at the jokes, the terrorists win. Who's out here drinking tonight? Huh?
Yeah.
Who is down to get Bad Decision hammered, huh?
Yeah.
This girl here, you're down. You're gonna do some filthy, despicable shit later on, I can already tell. Who's out there down to get just downright blackout drunk and make bad decisions involving my penis? Anyone? No takers? If you guys know me for 7 seconds of your life, you know that I love to drink, and I mean I love to drink. I like to get blackout drunk and just go on adventures and see what happens. But I found that I got to be kind of careful and stay within my realm of comfortability and just kind of hang with beer. Because if I go into hard liquor, I get too fucked up too fast. It's like I go from 0 to blackout drunk. It's like time travel. And then I find myself in the Hallmark store the next day asking the clerk, so where do you guys keep the cards that say, dude, I'm sorry I fucked your mom? Turns out you got a special order those. But with technology these days, with smartphones and everything else, you got to be careful. I've come to the point now where I almost have to hide my phone from myself when I'm drinking because I do dumb shit. Who out here has done some really despicable drunk texting? Yeah. This guy here's like, oh yeah, oh shit, dude, I text my grandma some crazy shit. True story, I was texting this girl one night, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm wrecked, I'm texting this girl that I'm putting it to, and shit gets crazy. And I inadvertently send a text designated to this girl to my mom. Now I don't realize it at the time, of course, because it's 3 in the morning, right? The next morning I wake up and I get this voicemail from my mom. Jason, you really need to be careful who you send these texts to. I'm like, what the fuck? So I scroll through my text log. Turns out I sent my mom a text that says, I want to punish your vagina. Which is screwed up because I don't. I mean, that thing gave birth to me. It's an honorable vagina, right? As dudes, we've all been in that drunk haze of alcoholism where sodium pentothal won't even cut through, and we just start lying, just making shit up. And it's always about like what you do, and it's always to get laid. So it's like you find yourself telling a girl you're a millionaire or an astronaut or a fucking cowboy or whatever. But you gotta be careful with this stuff because the thing of it is, and I don't mean because you might get caught, because worrying about getting caught is for pussies. What I'm talking about is the kind of things you tell certain types of girls. For instance, if you meet one of these new like hipster, new goth, whatever the descendants of Janine Garofalo are calling themselves these days, if you meet one of these girls and you tell her you're a writer, be fully prepared to listen to that broad rattle on endlessly about Sylvia Plath and the bell jar until you want to set her vagina on fire and kick her down a flight of stairs.
So I'm a father. I have a daughter who's 9 now. She's fantastic. As a parent, I often find myself torn between telling my daughter to do what's right and telling her to do what's awesome. For instance, when she was in preschool, there was a kid who was kind of bullying her, picking on her, and one day he was picking on her at the playground, and she got fed up with it. So she grabbed this kid's head and shoved it into the sandbox and held him there while he squirmed until the teacher finally pulled her off of him. And now the teacher told us that at the end of the day, and we were pretty shocked. And of course, as a responsible parent, I had to tell her, you know, violence doesn't solve anything. You need to use your words. Use your words. And but on the inside, I was thinking, that is fucking great. She kicked that kid. He's not gonna fuck with her again. So it's sort of the preschool equivalent of showing up in jail, fashioning yourself a shiv out of a toothbrush, and the first time someone looks at you funny, you just jab that toothbrush in his aorta until the blood just gushes everywhere. And nobody's gonna fuck with you after that. You're set for the entire rest of the time you're in prison. And sure enough, none of the other kids fucked with her that whole year of preschool. So secretly, I was very proud of her. And especially since when I was a kid, I wasn't, I was kind of timid, kind of shy. And so, things didn't quite go that way for me. To continue the prison analogy, I would have been the sort of guy who showed up in prison and every guy in there just looks at him and says, rape meat. He's going to get raped every day now. That's his new life. Everybody, over there. So, and I'm not trying to say that I was raped as a kid. I wasn't nearly attractive enough for that. So I want to give you that impression. I was the sort of kid that if a guy picked me up in his windowless rape van, he would have dropped me off a block away and said, sorry kid, your lack of self-esteem is a real turn-off.
Dogs are really cool because they'll take on the personality traits of their owners. Like if a guy has a lot of high energy, so will the dog. And that's the case for my friend and his dog, because my friend's a huge pervert, and so is his dog. Like if he takes his dog for a walk in the park, you can guarantee a girl in that park will get her leg humped, while the dog just sits there and watches. disgusting. I work at a gas station, and this guy came in. I'm guessing he was from out of town, because he asked me what was the quickest way to get to the hospital. So I said, what you want to do is just go down this road and get hit by a bus, and that'll be the quickest way. I was drinking with my friend who has diabetes, and he refused to take any shots with me. So I force-fed him candy until he had to take shots. Oh man, some good stuff right there. Oh man, if you want to make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs. Would be my business slogan if I ran an abortion clinic. I said if. I said if. That's the greatest right there. Anyone ever knock up a girl and pray to God that baby comes out black so you don't have to do anything? Not my kid. Those are my black friends, it's okay. My mom was a substitute teacher when I was growing up, which was awkward, because I was homeschooled. And the thing about getting homeschooled is sneaking into the girls' locker room is just not as fun.
I was kind of late getting here today. I had to take a shower because I might get a blowjob later. And then I got stuck on that traffic on 131 forever. So we stopped at the side of the highway for a bite of a homeless guy. And it actually got me thinking that face biting attack in Florida probably started with the worst pickup line ever. Hey. Hey. Nice face. Or something of the like. This thing is fucking with me tonight. So good. Hands off it.
Oh, I'm tight.
I wonder if it can support the awesome weight of my comedy. Do you ever have a dream that you're taking a shit? And before you wake up, while you're still dreaming, you realize that it's a dream and your first thought is, oh God, I hope I didn't just shit my bed. Me neither. Me neither. That's weird shit. That's never happened to me. That's so much we have in common, and I'm sure I'm gonna hear so much more of what you're thinking right now. I'll wait for him to stop. Every time I use a public restroom, I always pick the short urinal, because one day when I'm done peeing, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna see an impatient midget that has to pee. And that's gonna make my day. I'm gonna love that. I see a lot of Vietnam veterans with old Asian wives. Is that like a consolation prize or something? Feels like second place. It smelled like weed over by where I was sitting. And actually, now that I'm up here, it kind of smells like weed up here too. Guess we solved that mystery. No need to call Scooby-Doo on that one. Shaggy's already here. What was I talking about? I bet you the cuter an animal it is, the better it tastes.
Yes.
Yes. Cows? Delicious. Veal? Delicious. And adorable. Chickens are delicious. I'm betting you if I deep fried up a bunch of baby chicks, y'all would be ordering by the KFC bucketful. Just fresh hatched chick. Dry, fluff, wet batter, dry batter, deep fryer. Salt. If you're not laughing at that, you're thinking about stopping by KFC on the way home. You're like, Jesus, that does sound like a good idea. Smoking pot. What was I talking about? I want an alarm clock that throws a hot waffle at my face to wake me up. I have a feeling that would be a lot less violent of a way for me to wake up every morning. Because every morning I beat my alarm clock like an abused spouse on Cops. And I can see my alarm clock talking shit to the police right now. That motherfucker told me to wake him up at 9, and I did, and he hit me. I'm sorry, we're a little confused there. I got a big black alarm clock, so it kind of sounds like Miss Cleo in my head for this joke. That's terrible. That is funny as fuck. That motherfucker turns me on and just rolls over and goes right to sleep. That's awful.
That's great.
You like that? I really have been practicing my Jamaican woman accent for tonight a lot. I'm glad we're enjoying ourselves. My girlfriend's right over there. Been dating her for about a year. Yay. I have time allotted for you guys to applaud that. Thank you. We actually just had our first fight. What? Jesus, what? Are we asking questions? Are we contributing to the show? Did we sign up for Sunday Night Funnies? Nothing now? Now nothing? I'm asking. Jesus.
Your face. You didn't really say that. He said in your face.
Yes, I heard him. We all heard him. Thank you. God, there's 2 of them now. Fuck, I was gonna talk about happy shit. Now I'm all angry.
She's still happy.
I know. You're probably elated too, sir. By the way, this is not TV. We can hear you.
Where's the Cheetos?
There's 3 of them now. Jesus. Been dating my girlfriend for about a year now. And we got into our first legitimate fight. It was all over words with friends. Shut up. So let me tell you what happened. She plays the word the. And being the clever son of a bitch that I am, I put an S at the end of it, making the word thus. And that's when my beautiful girlfriend said the cutest thing in the world. She says, "You can't fucking do that!" Explain to me why I can't do that. Thus is not a word. Use it in a sentence. I'm like, okay, picture this. You're in the middle of the forest. You see, I will turn this comedy club around, and we will go back to Liz Riley's set. And we will listen to the whole thing over. I love you, Liz. Explain the word thus. Okay, picture this. You're in the middle of the forest, and you see the word the running through the fucking forest. And then you turn and you see another one, and another one, and then all of a sudden you're surrounded by a bunch of the word thus. I don't think I'm ever going to see that. You know what? I had a punchline to that, but it was ruined by somebody's awful timing. I guess they practiced that. Oh, look, I got the light. Looks like we don't get as much comedy as I wrote down on my page, and we're all just going to have to deal with that. I'm sorry. No, that's okay. That's okay. So, my girlfriend's sister's in from out of town. I wanted it to be a good show, but it's not the Jimmy Show anymore, I guess. So she lives in Arizona. She came a long ways away just to see this. And I don't know how she lives there without telling people where she lives by pointing to her hand. It's confusing. I don't know how they get around there. And it's also the reason why I couldn't move to a place like Florida. Oh, Jimmy, got a new house. Where are you living now? Oh, I'm about halfway down right here. If I had a little bit more money, I'd live by the coastline down here. An interesting side note to that, if you're Jamaican, you live down here. It's not a dick joke, that's a geography joke. All right, thanks a lot, that's my time, my name's Jimmy. Everybody shut the fuck up!
I know you guys are looking at me like, God damn, this shirt is tight. It is, it's tight, man. This motherfucker's so tight. Look, you can see my nipples. Can you see them from over there? I tried to return one the other day after I worked. They're like, no, you can't return this. I'm like, why not? It's got your nipple prints in it. I'm like, those ain't mine. I went on a diet at the beginning of the year. I went on an all-vaginal diet. As you can see, it didn't work out. I didn't lose no goddamn weight. Apparently, there's a lot of protein in pussy juices. That is nasty. I think it's the yeast. You know, it's. I think it's the yeast that just gets you fucked up. I mean, there's a lot of carbohydrates in yeast and shit. When you're growing biscuits and sourdough biscuits in your chocha. For those of you guys who don't know what chocha is, that's pussy in Puerto Rican. Shit, I was taking a leak the other day. I was like, what a great day. So the person next to me was like, wow, what's so great about it? I said, it don't hurt when I pee because the condom broke last night. That's some scary shit, ain't it? A broken condom? Oh my God. But do you stop? That's the question. Do you stop right there? Because it gets to feeling really good, don't it? You're like, oh man, this is some wet here. All you know is a condom's broke. Hey, the search and destroy mission to get the rest of the condom out. You're like a gynecologist, ain't you? Look at, he got the finger out here. You know you got a short dick if you can get it with the finger. I gotta try to get the hand in. I gotta go deep. I'm like, what is this, your uterus? Just kidding, I've never fisted a woman. My hands are too big. I've tried.
David's talking about black guys eating pussy, and I'm surprised they don't like it. You know, think about it.
Did you just spit take?
You do spit take?
No, he didn't.
No. Yeah, why black guys don't like eating pussy? Because if you think about it, it looks like a slice of watermelon. And it tastes like catfish. So, the great mysteries of the world. All right.
I had to break up with my last girlfriend because I found out that she was poking holes in my condoms. And I was like, are you insane? Do you want your sister to get pregnant? Better look at my note card because I'm not prepared. Which is why I'm wearing shorts. Don't wear shorts on stage. I was not expecting this. You guys are fun. My girlfriend's a heavy sleeper. She's also a heavy person. And I wish she would sleepwalk, because then she would be exercising. Yes. I always offer to walk my lady friends to their cars. That way, if a rapist comes along, he'll see me and think, shit, he beat me to it. Worked at a daycare for a while, and on on Mondays and Tuesdays we would go swimming. I remember one day I was at the pool, and this kid told me my voice sounded like a robot. So I told him, at least my voice doesn't sound like I'm drowning. Can't control my robot hands, guys. Do not compute. Where was I talking about death or something? I like to wear tight shirts because it reminds me what it feels like to be held. I like that feeling. I like that feeling. All right, let's push the boundaries, guys. I think it's safe to say that babies ruin everything, even blenders. And microwaves, and dishwashers, and dryers, and meat cleavers if your handle's loose, and washing machines, and juicers, and garbage disposals, and lawnmowers, and leaf blowers, and vaginas, and hopes and dreams, and lives. That was for me. I wanted to see how long I could keep that going. Anyways, guys, I wanted to have sex with my high school sweetheart, but she died when she was 16. So unfortunately, I had to wait 2 years. I had to wait 2 years. There we go.